Another severe threat will likely develop here during the afternoon and evening on Wednesday. I'm Ryan. This is Michigan Storm Chasers. Welcome to the channel. Let's go ahead and dive into what to expect for the Wednesday time period. Starting with the SPC. This is your Storm Prediction Center outlook issued by the government agency out in Oklahoma. We are in an enhanced risk for severe weather in orange, up to Grand Rapids, over to Lansing, over to about that Brighton Howell area, back through about Detroit Metro and point southward. Further north in yellow, we do have a slight risk. It's level 2 out of 5. Mount Pleasant, the Tri-Cities, all the Thumb, Port Huron, those general areas in a slight risk. Further north in dark green, that's your lowest risk. It's called marginal. It's going to extend all the way up to basically about the Alpena, Sheboygan almost area. Almost the entire lower peninsula there within a severe threat. Also, the southern tip of Menominee County in the UP falls within that marginal risk. All right. Hazards from the SPC. Number 1 is going to be damaging winds. Also note we have a hatched area for those winds, which means a probability exists of wind gust over 75 miles per hour or greater across any of that black dashed line zone. We call it hatching. Okay. The highest risk is going to fall within the red zone. The medium type of risk is going to fall within that yellow zone. And then the lowest risk falls within the brownish red zone up here further north. So much higher risk further south you go. Damaging winds is primary concern. Secondary concern of hail up to about a quarter size in diameter. That risk extends all the way up to about Mount Pleasant, Roscommon areas. Further north toward Gaylord, Alpena, Traverse City. It's a lower risk, but still a risk nonetheless. And then last but not least, tornadoes. We are in a large 5% risk for a couple tornadoes being a possibility throughout Wednesday evening. So that is your overall outlook from the SPC. We're going to have our outlook posted on Facebook this afternoon, so stay tuned for that. Let's dive into timeframes and future models here. Let's talk about it. So today we're dry, but tomorrow, overnight tonight actually, into tomorrow morning, that's going to change. Some rain showers do move in. Here we go into that Wednesday morning time period. We're going to have snow begin further north. I got to go back one model run here to the 12Z, so it goes out longer. There we go. We're having some isolated snow showers push in across the state to start the system. So yes, snow to start. You are hearing that correctly for the overnight period tonight into Wednesday morning. So we go to sunrise on Wednesday here. We're going to have snow further north. We're going to have a mix somewhere across the central part of Michigan likely. And then notice all this rain here. This rain is going to be what we're going to watch very closely throughout Wednesday morning. Why are we going to watch it? When we have a lot of rain, that means cloud cover, and that means a stable atmosphere is likely going to be in place. How long that stable atmosphere stays in place will dictate how storms evolve later in the day Wednesday. So moving into the Wednesday at noon time frame, we're likely going to have some thunderstorms going on across the state from Grand Rapids to Lansing to Detroit, perhaps down here toward the Indiana-Ohio border. Would not be shocked to see some hail in there as well, but overall severe risk is quite low with this round. Wouldn't be shocked to see an isolated severe storm, but the odds are much greater later on in the evening on Wednesday. This model right here is 10 a.m. on Wednesday morning. Moving into the afternoon time period, here is noon, here's 1 o'clock. That rain moves north. Then we have a secondary, looks like a line kind of develops here on the model here. This is 3 p.m. That may be severe as well, but again, the better chances of severe come later. So here's 3 p.m. Let's go to 4 p.m. Let's go to 5 p.m. Here is where we kind of start clearing out, and that is going to be the time frame to watch for a resurgence of our instability and moisture back into the state. This is 6 p.m. Here's 7 p.m. A line of storms develops here across Indiana and also parts of Michigan as well. Here's 8 p.m. Go to 9 p.m. These are the storms that may be severe, okay? Later on the evening after the 7 p.m. time period is our concern, but let's put it all together, back it up here. Notice how much rain is in the area. That is our biggest concern. Rain is not what you want to see if we're looking for severe storms. So if we have an abundance of it that may stabilize the atmosphere, we need a destabilizing atmosphere for severe weather. So right now our concern is there. The ingredients coming together for this are really good. The biggest question is how much storm fuel we're going to have, because we don't have much of that. We're not going to have much of a severe threat at all. Is it going to be a high concern for severe weather? If we have enough storm fuel, yes. Let's go ahead and go through our ingredients for severe weather throughout the day. Talking about the instability here, there is your surface-based instability at 3 p.m. You're going to notice it's across the border in Indiana and Ohio, back through Illinois. But as we move into the evening hours, that does creep up, and that is why our concern is higher in the evening time frame. But do take note, even if we do see the surface-based instability, models at this point are saying anywhere from 500 to maybe 1,000 or so of joules of surface CAPE across the very extreme southern portions of Michigan. So it doesn't really extend further north like we see that threat extend up to the Gaylord area, for example. We're seeing it mainly in that enhanced risk area further south in orange. So the highest concern right now is in that orange area. If models do trend further north, which is a possibility, then the concern then grows further north. All right. So that is your surface instability, and it does clear out. Here's 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and then 10 p.m., and we're done with surface-based storms by the time we get to the midnight time frame. So putting it all together, once again, damaging winds, your primary concern here. Large hail, a secondary concern. Also, we have enough wind shear with this system. We are looking at a potential few tornadoes in the state once again here in Michigan. So do take note, Wednesday afternoon and evening especially. Keep an eye out for some strong, perhaps severe weather, but a lot of uncertainty goes into play. There is no slam dunk with this forecast. Going into the winter side of things, switch it over here to our snow accumulation. We have a wide area of snow being shown on the model here. It did kind of shift further south. We could see a good coating of snow across central parts of Michigan. What inch or two? I think the models are a little bit overdoing it just a bit, but 1 to 2 inches not out of the question here across portions of central Michigan. Also parts of the UP as well. Wouldn't be shocked to see an inch or two up there, but no major accumulation of snow is expected. In terms of icing, we are still seeing potential for some icing across portions of Michigan. Latest models are kind of backing off on that, but I do think we have potential, especially with that early morning Wednesday round. We're going to see some icing across the state. But in terms of ice storm impacts, we are not expecting it to be significant in terms of icing. And also, same goes for snowfall. It should just be more of a nuisance snowfall than it is impactful. All right. Biggest concern remains on that severe threat for the afternoon evening time frames. That is where our focus is going to stay on. With that being said, that is all I got to share with you guys. We'll be live live tonight at 6 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Twitch for a briefing of the severe weather. I'll have Joel leading that tonight. Again, 6 p.m. Feel free to join us here on YouTube for a live briefing of tomorrow's severe weather. And also stay tuned to our Facebook page. We do have updates and forecasts being posted throughout the afternoon over there as well. Before I hop out of there, I want to say a shout out to today's spotlight sponsor, Kuiper Tree Care, based in Grand Rapids area. 616-828-8225 is the number to get a hold of Kuiper. They specialize in tree care, cutting, cleanup across the Grand Rapids, West Michigan areas. So thank you to Kuiper for sponsoring today's YouTube video and being the spotlight sponsor on the video today. I will catch you guys tonight at 6 p.m. with Joel for a briefing of severe weather tomorrow afternoon and evening. Stay safe, guys.